Today, we will be covering a basic introduction to the sine rule. The law of sines, or sine rule, is very useful for solving triangles. As you can see, the sides of the triangle are labeled with the letters A, B, and C in lowercase, and the angles of the triangle are labeled with capital letters. These are incorporated into the sine rule formula. The formula states that if you divide side A by the sine of the angle across from side A, that is equivalent to side B divided by the sine of the angle across from side B, which is then in turn equivalent to side C divided by the sine of the angle across from side C. Let's verify this rule. I chose side A to be 8, which means its corresponding angle A is 62.2 degrees. I plugged all my values into the sine rule formula, and when it was computed, the following answers are almost the same. The reason they are not exactly the same is because perfect accuracy was not used for this example. I rounded. So this does verify that the formula for the law of sines holds true. Now, let's try an example to see how this law is useful for determining an unknown side. The first step is to plug in all the known values into the sine rule formula. Once we do that for this question, we notice that there is no information regarding angle A or side A, so we can just ignore that part of the formula and focus on the rest. A little algebra is now needed in order to solve for our side C. We move the unknown value to the left side to prepare to solve. We then multiply both sides by the sine of 105 degrees to isolate for C. Finally, after that computation, we get a C value of 11.8, which was rounded to 1 decimal place. Now, let's try an example to see why this law is useful for determining an unknown angle. Once again, the first step is to plug all the known values into the formula for the sine rule. When we do that, we see that A over sine A is not used, so we can ignore that part of the formula. Then we are just left with the rest of the formula. The crisscross multiplication is used in order to get rid of the fractions, so solving for B is possible. Both sides are then divided by 5.5 in order to isolate for B. After calculating, it is found that sine B equals 0.7614, and that was rounded to 4 decimal places. In order to isolate B, the sine inverse must be taken of both sides. So then finally, we get sine inverse of 0.7614 for a B value of 49.6 degrees. So that's how you find an unknown angle using the sine rule. So that covers the introduction to the sine rule, and here are the list of references used. Thanks for listening. I hope it helped.